Today we are going to be reviewing the Away Bigger Carry-On Suitcase. Now, I just got back from my trip to Europe, and I used this suitcase in Europe. I have a lot of thoughts on what I think about it, so let's dive in. So the first thing you'll notice is that they give you a little tag, luggage tag to go with your suitcase. Now, I think this might have been a couple bucks extra, but the guy threw it in for free for me, so I got my monogram on there, SAH. Nice little touch. I'm going to keep that. The next thing you'll notice is this kind of TSA lock system that they have on these cases. So it's pretty simple. You put in your code 000 or whatever you make your code to be, and then you press the button like that, and these things pop off. Really neat, keeps the zippers kind of intact. Make sure that they're all lined up so that when you open the case, boom, everything is nice and lined up. All right, so let's bring the camera closer and we'll get a closer view of what's going on in here. Okay, so I don't have a big enough camera lens to be in the frame as well as looking, so you just have to look at my hands. So there's two compartments to this bigger carry-on. There's this side that it's basically hollow, and what I put in here are toiletries, shoes, what else? I have my mask for when I went diving in Europe, an extra bag. That's this side. The other side is where you put your clothes. So, we'll talk about this later, but you stack all your clothes in here. I folded them up like this, and you can fit it. It's pretty deep. I don't know, 4 pairs of shirts, 4 pairs of pants, and then you kind of put this thing over and strap it down. Now this area is for delicates, so underwear and socks, that's what I put in here. And then this thing will pull over and strap down like so. Hello. Okay, as you can tell, super versatile, carries a lot of stuff, and very durable, right? This is a pretty hard plastic bound here. The wheels are very nice as well. I have a lot more thoughts on this that are more succinct, so let's talk about it separate from on the ground here. One more thing that I did not talk about when we were on the ground. I paid extra for this suitcase, and we'll discuss the pricing here in a second. But what comes with mine is this battery pack. It's kind of a gimmick, and if you could see it there, this battery sits just under the handle, and you can push it, and it'll bounce out. So, nice little perk. It sits right there in this little hole, and it was actually really helpful in Europe. I used this a lot. I should have brought my own, but I knew that I had one here, so it wasn't a big deal. Very useful. We'll go over this in a minute. I've showed you everything. Now let's talk about it. There are a couple other things that we can go over, these accessories that come along with it. Like I said, paid extra for the battery pack. Wouldn't necessarily say it's worth it. It also comes with these scuff mark erasers, so you can wipe the marks off your luggage once you get back from your trip. Really helpful. Didn't use these either, but you know, suit yourself. A little package of battery information and stickers and all this other stuff that I haven't looked at yet. Yep. Okay, another thing that didn't necessarily come with the one that I purchased, but the guy was very helpful in getting this for me. He just included it. It's a little travel pack for chargers. So in here are a couple cables as well as universal ports that go throughout Europe. Now, this was super helpful. The only bad thing was that Away has made these for only Away products. And what I mean by that is, if you can see, there's a little indentation here. And basically, you can only put these down for certain products. So I could not go use this on another converter because it has to match the other end, which looks like that. So you cannot just plug a regular port into there. that's the only downside about these. But it does come with cables, and this was helpful when I was in Europe as well. Let's get into it. What did I pay? Was it worth it? Will I be keeping the bigger carry-on from away? Now, I really enjoyed the suitcase, okay? It was great, super durable, rolls on all four wheels, amazing. I would recommend, if you are doing a lot of European travel, to not get the bigger carry-on. The reason why is you cannot you cannot put it on the top of the smaller planes in Europe, which you can check it, it's going to cost you, it's fine. But to be more nimble, to go around Europe a little bit easier, I would recommend getting the smaller carry-on. That is for sure going to fit on all the planes. Now, it carries less clothes, so a bit of a drawback there. You kind of have to weigh the pros and cons. But if I were to do this again, I'd probably get the smaller one and just be forced to pack lighter, because it was a bit of a pain to carry around Europe. Also, most people in Europe are carrying the small one. No one has a big piece of luggage. Now, I get that they're going from country to country in Europe, but save yourself the headache, pack a little bit less, buy the smaller one, in my opinion. Also, the battery pack, like I said, super nice, very convenient. I would not necessarily say it's a must. I mean, you could buy one of your own and put it in your backpack. You don't have to keep it in your suitcase like this has. Now, it's convenient. You know, it's a little bit of a gimmick, and I think they charge you, I'm not sure, an extra $45 for it. Up to you on that one. So what I paid for the bigger carry-on here was $345. I think the price went up recently, so that was the higher price that I paid. I would not necessarily say that this suitcase is super worth it. Don't get me wrong, it's a really, really great suitcase, and I really enjoyed using it, but I don't necessarily think that it's that much more worth your money than a suitcase at Costco or Target would be. Now, you can make that decision on your own. My friends love theirs. They have a lifetime warranty, blah, blah, blah. They have all these perks. It's really well made. If you think the money's worth it for you, you could do it. For me, I actually am going to return mine. I'm not going on any trips soon. And if I do in the future buy one, I'd like to get the smaller one just because it's more convenient, like I said, for Europe, which is great. The company is great. They have a 100-day, no questions asked return policy. The guy even said, hey, if you come back from a Europe trip and you don't like anything about it, you can return it, no questions asked. You can even exchange it, because I got one that was on the floor and it was a little beat up. He said, come back, we'll get you a new one, no problem. So from that side, their customer service and their standing behind the product is impeccable. I commend Away for that. So, like I said, great product, not for me at this time, just because I'm not going to be doing any traveling soon, and like I said, I'd like to get the smaller suitcase eventually, but I recommend it depending on what your needs are for travel.